let's get right into it. So Glorietta, guys, listen, I don't know if I'm going to continue to review her because I think that there's something, I won't say wrong, but I think that there's something going on that is not being talked about on this show. And I feel like it needs to be addressed because something is going on with Glorietta, because she's driving in this car to meet Alex and she's having like a breakdown. But while she's having the breakdown, she's talking herself out of it and she's still driving up there to see him. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I have had plenty of breakdowns in a car, okay? It's just the way she does things that makes me think something is going on. Not only is she driving, she's having this entire conversation. There's nobody in the car with her. Yes, there's cameras there, but it's just her in this car. We all talk to ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's the way she does it. And I'm just like, going up to see him and he's gonna look so great. But what if he's not okay? Like, it's something up. Something is up. So we finally get to meet Alex. And the first thing that I say when I see him, I was just like, you know what? Alex got black kids. I'm sorry. From the moment he stepped onto the scene, his whole demeanor, the way he was talking and macking on Glorietta, who was like serving toddler. Like, guys, something is up. But the way he was macking on her and talking to her, I was just like, you know what? There has to be a line of sisters that got you to this point. You just don't wake up like this as a white man. Glorietta brought all these balloons to come and see Alex. And like she was having like a breakdown like outside. And, is he here? What if he doesn't like the balloon? Like her whole little thing, right? So Alex comes out and he's like macking on. And she's like, okay, we're leaving. What do we do with these? And Alex is just like, oh, we just release them. And he lets those balloons go. Guys, please don't do this. This is not cute. Not only is it dangerous to the environment, this releasing balloons into the atmosphere because you just don't know where they go. They go anywhere up to the sky. They kill birds. Birds get tangled and caught into those balloons and they die. Or you can hit an electrical cord and knock out the power in an entire neighborhood. Don't ask me how I know. Stop doing that, y'all. Cheryl and Josh. Cheryl, your man don't want to work, sis. He's a robber. Josh is a criminal. He don't want to do no 9 to 5. He don't know how to do it, and he is never going to do it because Cheryl is trying to get him to pay his restitution so that he can get his license so that he can go to work. Josh is not trying to do that. So Cheryl is just like, well, I'll pay it. He's like, no, I don't want no woman taking care of me. And I'm like, girl, don't no man, especially no bum man, turn down a woman taking care of him. Josh just don't want to work. Any solution that Cheryl provides for him, he's going to knock it down because that's just not who he is. Josh robs banks. Josh is a thief. This is how he gets his coin and he don't want to get it no other way. So then Josh and Cheryl get into they start to get into a disagreement about Josh not working and him not, going through the proper channels to get his driver's license. And Cheryl is not okay with it. And then in her confessional, she's just like, I spent a lot of money on Josh. And if I didn't spend that money on him, me and my kids could have lived a really great life. But instead, I used that money on him. And I'm like, okay, what you want? Sympathy from us? You want us to feel bad for you? All you did was let us know that you're a terrible mother. You took money out of your kid's mouth to feed this dude that you don't even know anything about him. Supposedly sent $30,000 to this dude. Cheryl, listen, girl, if you had that much money and you sent that to Josh, the government, are y'all looking at her because where is she getting this money from? Cheryl sent that WIC money to Josh. She ain't sent no hard-earned money. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I've seen where you live. I've seen your car. No shade. I've seen your family. Don't play me. Like checkers. Don't play me. So while they're having their little disagreement, Josh just mocks Cheryl and she just flips out, grabs her little fake Birkin bag and she runs out of the hotel room. She's like, I don't want to do this on camera. And she runs out the room. She's like, Josh, are you coming? And Josh is sitting there like, girl, no. And in Josh's confessional, he's like, Cheryl is great most of the time, but 30% of the time, she's a straight psycho. And he said it so matter-of-factly, and I was just like, how do you know? You have not had any time with this girl. Like, from our understanding, they have not spent any time together. So you mean to tell me that Cheryl is calling Josh, having these breakdowns on the phone for him to know that she's a psycho 30% of the time? Is she writing him crazy letters? Is she calling him all kinds of crazy on his little prison minutes? you know what? On this show, I have realized that sometimes the sanest people on this show are the prisoners. So let's talk about Josh going to open up a bank account. So this is the thing, right? I don't know if WeTV or this show let this bank know what they were doing. If they didn't, this is totally wrong, because I don't think that if you rob banks, are you allowed to even set foot in a bank? I mean, you have to be able to like, if you turn your life around, you have to be able to like have some place to hold your money. But I don't know. I feel like if this bank knew about Josh, I don't think they would have had to sit down with him. So that kind of bothers me, because I don't think the bank was aware. Here is why. Josh and Cheryl go to open a bank account for him. And while he's in there, you know, I guess this show makes them reveal that they're like felons or whatever. He tells the lady who's opening the checking account for him that he used to rob banks. She's just like, oh, so what was your profession? He's just like, well, I was a professional bank robber. And she's typing and she's just like, because I know that woman was just like, get the hell out of here. I would have been like, shut these cameras off. Get out of my office. And Josh was like, well, I turned my life around. So now I'm here to like give the bank my money. And she's just like, well, you know what? If you give it to us, we'll take it. And Josh goes, that used to be my motto. That lady's face, she was like, what the hell do they have me do? That lady was probably thinking, I'm about to lose my job for these 15 seconds of fame. Vincent and Amber, let me tell you something, WeTV. You are shady. Love at the Lockup, you are shady, because Amber meets with her friend, Michelle. You didn't have another picture of Michelle? Because when they showed that picture of Michelle, I was just like, did she release this to you guys? Thinking about if I'm Michelle, I would have never given them that picture. Michelle looked drugged out of her mind in her mugshot. Y'all could have used another picture of her. Y'all did not need to use that mugshot. And from the looks of Michelle, she has multiple mugshots. Y'all did not have to use the worst one. I'm pretty sure that Michelle has like 13 mugshots where she does not look like a zombie. Y'all ain't right. Y'all are not right. So something is going on with Vince. Something is going on with Vince. And now I'm starting to get a bit more worried for Amber. I think he's running some like felon, ex-con, government adoption scheme. Something is going on, because when Vince is taking Amber to get her nails done to meet Michelle, girl, suit him alone for that mugshot. When he is taking her to meet her, his grandmother calls and he says, oh, I'm down in Atlanta doing this side job. And Amber is sitting there uncomfortable like, I'm a side job? Like, what the hell is going on? Now, I understand Vince probably not wanting to tell his grandmother that he's in Atlanta, seeing if a relationship with an ex-con could work out. I totally understand that. Don't take the call. You know what I mean? But don't sit in the car and talk about Amber like she's a side job and she's already having doubts about you. You just add on to that. That makes her and we, the viewers, worry. Like, what are you actually doing when you're lying about stuff that you're doing? You got all of these secrets. You're adopting puppy, trying to adopt Amber. Like, this is not just something that you just make up off the top of your head. This is something you actually looked into. And I feel like he's running a scam, because I saw a video of him trying to explain what was happening with adopting Puppy and trying to adopt Amber. He never really made sense of it. He said that Puppy was calling him and they were, you know, they started to form a friendship over the phone. But I'm like, why is Puppy reaching out to you? And he said that Puppy suggested him adopting her. And I'm like, Vince, something is going on. Something is not quite right here. And I feel like he's not trying to, I feel like he's talking about it because it was addressed on the show, but I think he's leaving out a lot of stuff that could incriminate him or have him lose his benefits. Something is up. He is running some kind of scam, and I don't know if it will be exposed on this show, but something is going to happen. Maybe Amber is going to expose it. What do you guys think? Do you think that Amber is going to expose Vince's scam? Let's talk about it in the comments section. Lacey, John, and Shane. So Lacey is hanging out with her father. She finally got back from visiting Shane. And all I have to say about Lacey's father is that Lacey's kids look just like her father. That leads me to believe that he stressed her the hell out when she was pregnant with them kids, because those kids look just like that man. And you know, especially you women who have had children, you know that the person that stressed you out the most, that's who your child comes out looking like. I already told my mother, I said, when I'm pregnant, leave me alone, girl. I don't, leave me alone. But I was looking at her kids and I was just like, they all have her father's face. He worked her nerves in her third trimester. Lacey, why is your story just such a hot ghetto mess? Because when she's talking to her father, I don't understand. I don't understand Lacey. I don't get her life being like this and her wanting to reveal it on TV. Because why would you say to your father on national TV?
I think that John is Marlo's dad.
Like, what? That is something, like, guys, I get this show is fun and I get that it's also like a real part of people's lives. I totally understand that. But to sit there on national TV and say that your ex-husband is probably not your child's father, I just think that that's so, it's such huge and heavy information. The first time that even your father or your husband should be, or even John, hearing this, should not be on national TV. It was so irresponsible. So I'm like, do you know how huge this is? I'm just thinking about her ex-husband watching this. Like, what? Guys, that really pissed me off. Like, I could not even stomach Lacey after that. She's already been getting on my nerves after how she's been treating Shane. But the fact that she would just say something like that, even if it's true, because you know what it probably is? This ain't fair. This ain't fair to the Marlo. This ain't fair to your ex-husband. It damn sure ain't fair to John. John is actually back in prison on some additional drug charges. So he's probably watching this in prison right now like, oh my goodness, I got a kid. Like, what? Oh, Lacey, I can't.
I don't know, because when I was married, John and I also hooked up, and Marlo does look like him.
How horrible! That's so terrible. Listen, people be getting it in, people cheat. You know, sometimes partners are close to each other. So I understand that, you know, it might be a paternity test or two that needs to happen. My issue is that this girl decided to tell us before telling her ex-husband or John. Absolutely terrible, Lacey. Absolutely terrible. And her father, get out of here! I know he was like, I raised a basket case of a child. Andrea and Lamondre. So Andrea meets with a detective who essentially put away Lamondre. He meets with her, and in this meeting, Andrea is she wants to know about his sentence because Lamondre hasn't really given her any information. She doesn't know why he's still in there. Like, he said that he was getting out one day. He called her on the day that he was supposed to get out and told her that he's not getting out without any explanation. So she's not getting the information that she needs from her man. So she decides to go to the detective that locked him up. And I'm just like, girl, I don't think this is your first time dating a drug dealer. Don't you think this is moving kind of, I don't know, I'm not judging. I've never dated a drug dealer before, but I think if I were to date a drug dealer, I wouldn't be sitting down at a diner having brunch with the detective that put him away. That just seems disloyal. And I just felt like Lamondre would probably have a problem with that. One scene where the detective is talking to Andrea, trying to answer her questions as much as he can. And then we get like confessional scenes where he's just like, if this was my daughter, I would tell her to leave this man alone. Like, he's sitting here talking to her, giving her the respect, sitting down, having this conversation with her because she needs some information and he thinks that he could probably help her. But then we have the confessional where he's just like, this is ridiculous. Like, what is this woman doing? Like, he's so disappointed and Andrea. And you know what? I am too. You know what I mean? But that's her life. This is the life that she chose. She's very happy about it. She's posted about it all on Instagram. She feels like her and Lamondre are going to be reality TV stars. She wants to get famous from this. She's doing what she came to do. I will say in this moment when she's sitting with the detective, I think she really wanted to know. I think she really wanted to know what was going on. But I also think that she knew who she was dating, because the detective is trying to tell her who Lamondre is. He tells her that Lamondre is a menace to society, that he's the maniac of Daytona Beach. This doesn't affect Andrea. I don't think she cares. I think she knows who this man is. I think she just wants to know what's going on with his sentence, because I don't think that she's the type of chick that's down to date a lifer. I think that Lamondre is withholding information from her concerning his sentence because he knows that he's probably doing some serious time, and because of something he done did in there, probably killed somebody, he probably going to be doing, life or whatever. I think I did read somewhere that he's getting out the 2026. I think I did read somewhere that he's getting out 2026. But again, that's all up to Lamondre. You know what I mean? If the prison found another body and his name is on it, he's probably going to be doing some, additional serious time. And I think that Lamondre kept that information from her because he knows that Andrea ain't going to stick around. Now, she going to stick around if you give her a time, but you got to give a girl like that a reasonable amount of time. She ain't no girl that's going to stick around with a lifer. I think he knows that, so he was being very vague with the information concerning his sentence. So she wanted to meet with somebody who will give her the tea, but he didn't really have any information. And the guy was just basically saying, a guy like Lamondre, he's not, if he does get out, he's going right back. He doesn't know any other way of life. This is all that he knows. Continuously stay in prison, if not do life in prison for all the things that he has already done. So you just need to get away. But Andrea don't want to hear that, because the bottom line is Lamondre is taking care of her. Lamondre is taking care of her. And in saying that, I don't think that Lamondre is the kind of guy that you can break up with. So Andrea, you having a real good time on Instagram with this show, tweeting, becoming this, reality TV star kind of celebrity. But I feel like you playing with fire, girl. I don't think that this is a dude that you can break up with. I don't think that this is a dude that you can cheat on. Lamondre, to me, from what I have seen, seems like the kind of guy who will make sure you don't leave him, even if he's behind bars. Catch it, girl. Catch it. Stop taking that man's money if you're not down to hold him down for the rest of his life. Because Lamondre is probably not getting out, guys. I don't think so. He gargled with jewelry cleaner. He ain't never getting out of prison. Oh, Lizzie and Daniel, this couple, they just got problems. They have so many problems. And I get the mom. Like, I'm just concerned watching this whole thing go down. So Daniel is at his mom's place. And I just, listen. Daniel has issues, right? And sometimes the way he acts really bothers me. But then I have to think about who raised him. You know what I mean? Because his mom is sitting here like she's really excited. Her son is back home. And she's just like, so, you glad to be back home? And Daniel is just like, it's cramped. The look on her face after he said that, she was just so disappointed that he wasn't happy to be back home, because she was obviously very happy to have her son back. But there's something that Daniel isn't saying, right? And I think out of love and respect for his mother, he's not saying what happened in his life to get him to want to smoke heroin out of a light bulb, because I ain't never in my life heard of that. So I'm probably going to say that a lot, because that shocked me. I got hooked on heroin the ghetto way, smoking it out of a light bulb. What? Listen, I'm ghetto, but I realize there are levels to the ghetto, and the level that Daniel was on, I don't know about that one. So after Daniel, who has spent about, 3 years in a prison cell, says that his home is cramped. I'm like, it's more cramped than a prison cell that you shared with somebody? Okay, they get into Lizzie, and Daniel is obviously still really upset for his mother talking trash about his girl in front of her family. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Even though I totally understand Daniel's mom being concerned about his relationship with Lizzie, because Lizzie is just a bad influence, right? But Daniel is grown. Daniel is grown, and he has to be able to start making the right decisions for his life. Lizzie is a bad influence. Daniel isn't an 8-year-old kid. You know what I mean? He's a grown guy who has just done some grown hard time. And if he doesn't want to go back to that life or that prison cell, then he has to make the best decisions for himself. Personally, from what I have seen, do not think that he's making the best decisions, right? But he's only been out of prison a couple of days. So, you got to let people acclimate and, celebrate. But I just feel like if you have like an addiction problem, I don't think you should be running to bars and getting drunk with your girlfriend. And I don't think it should be Lizzie's responsibility to keep him clean. That should only be on Daniel. He has to want it. If he wants it, he will remain clean. He will do what he needs to do to get to where he needs to be. But I just think they keep on relying on Lizzie going to school and holding down the job. Like that is all that makes a person responsible or a good partner or just like an overall good person. Ted Bundy held down a job. Hitler was an excellent student. So it doesn't really hold any weight, but they keep on throwing that out there to describe Lizzie and make it seem like she's a really good person. But I think that is being said about her because maybe this neighborhood or this ghetto, wherever they live, that doesn't happen for a lot of people. A lot of people probably aren't educated in that area. A lot of people probably don't hold down jobs like Lizzie. So for them, or at least for Daniel, he's like, I'm dating somebody who is essentially working her way out of this hood that we live in, and I want to be connected to that. However, Lizzie has some vices. She has some really problematic behavior that could probably lead Daniel back into doing drugs. So that's why his mom is very concerned, and they really get into it. And Daniel is just, I don't know, maybe I was just raised different, but the way he was talking to his mom, I was like, I could never. And it just seemed wrong because I could feel her pain. She's just like, I lost my son for 3 years. I already lost you to heroin. Then I'm losing you to the prison system. And I see you get out and you're with somebody that I do not think is good for you. She felt some sort of way that Lizzie wasn't writing her son or going to see her son while he was in prison. I understand that, but then I understand Lizzie, who was like, I work running up to prison to go see some dude every time because one, I don't know if it's going to work when he get out, and two, I don't even know if he's going to get out. You know what I mean? So I am all for Lizzie going and getting her life and doing what she needs to do. I do understand the mother is just like, well, I was the only one going up there to, see you and, help provide for you. She didn't do any of that. And as soon as you get out, you want to see this woman. So I'm thinking it's probably jealousy. I'm thinking the mom is just like, I was the only one who was there for you. Now, as soon as you get out, you're all about Lizzie. And I think she just wants to, be with her son, and she wants it to just be them two. But Daniel loves Lizzie. Lizzie loves Daniel. I think there's some love there with this couple. I do think that they're unequally yoked. They just seem like they're each other's trigger. Again, we don't know what Lizzie's secret is, right? But we do know, not that she's an alcoholic, but that she got a little issue with drinking, because that's been brought up a lot. Her mother was talking about how, they're going to go back to her place and get drunk. Daniel's mom is talking about Lizzie's drinking. Then Lizzie says that she's going to take Daniel to a bar to get drunk. There's an issue there. Now, we haven't seen her stumbling and falling all around on camera, but there's obviously something going on that several people have mentioned it about Lizzie's drinking. Lizzie comes over, and I think that she's just coming to pick up Daniel so they can, go and have fun or whatever. She's like, oh no, I wanted to come over here because I needed to talk to you. I did not like how you talked to me at Daniel's welcome home party. She was up in this woman's face, and I was just like, Daniel, get your girl. You know what I mean? Right or wrong, that's your mother. Like, you cannot allow your partner to talk to your mother like that. That was a serious problem for me. And the fact that she was getting in her face and she was just like, don't cut me off, because if you cut me off, then you can't listen to me. And she's walking up to this woman, and Daniel is sitting there on the steps looking dumb. And I'm just like, I will say this, Daniel's mom was not letting up over that 14-page letter. What the hell was in that letter? So Lizzie and Daniel's mom are going at it. Daniel's mama starts to cry, like break down, and she's trying to explain to Lizzie why she's so upset. And Lizzie is just like, well, you have to trust me with your son. If you don't trust me with your son, then we can't really move forward. So she breaks down, they hug, and Daniel is just like, what the hell just happened? And then Lizzie takes Daniel to the bar to get drunk. Her words, her words. So I get why the mother is concerned, right? But again, Daniel's grown. You gotta let him do what he's gonna do. I know that's a very scary thing, especially when, you know, you're a mom and you know that your son is an addict and there's really no way that you can help him. He has to want to do it. It's really sad, but you know, that's all she can do. She just gotta let that boy go. She gotta let him go and watch him make mistakes and just be there for him. Ugh, that's so, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Oh my goodness, poor mama, poor mama. What is Lizzie's secret? We've already talked about it. Y'all know I think that she snitched on Daniel, but we haven't talked about it in like 2 or 3 episodes. So I'm just like, are we ever going to get to it? Or are you going to wait till the last episode to like have her reveal it? And then we got to come back next season? Because you notice how they do on this show. They leave all this information at the last episode, at the last 3 minutes. And then we got to wait another 8 months or so until this show comes back on. So that just may happen. But what do you guys think is Lizzie's secret? At first I thought that she was pregnant, but we've come to find out that she's not. Now I think that the only reason why she didn't do any time and why she refuses to visit Daniel in prison is because she snitched on him. What y'all think? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. That's it for me. This was a good episode. It wasn't a lot of drama like we normally get. And I felt like a lot of the scenes were really short. Did you guys feel like that? I felt like all of these couples had like one scene and that was it. Normally we get a lot of each couple, but I just feel like everybody had like one scene. Maybe this was another filler episode. Who knows? I still enjoyed it and I will be here next week to review it. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you this Friday for the following episode of Love at the Lockup. Bye, guys.